The evening wind swept through the charred walls, carrying dust and the cold breath of the coming night. Amid the ruins, a 17-year-old girl named Leena bent down to tighten the straps of her worn-out sandals. Sandals that had followed her through days of fleeing and survival. The last golden light of sunset touched her dust-stained face, yet her eyes still shimmered with a quiet fire, as if the only thing left untouched by war was her will to endure. Behind her, a child's cry cut through the silence. Leena stood up quickly and gathered her two younger siblings, 7-year-old Sammy and 5-year-old Hannah, into her arms. Their parents had died in a shelling. From that day on, the 3 siblings had only each other, and Leena became their sister, their mother, and their father. The war had retreated from their land, but what it left behind was not easy to erase. Collapsed roofs, burnt walls, and rows of makeshift tents stretched across the ground like the wounded body of a survivor. Standing before their simple tent, Leena held her siblings' hands tightly, feeling a weight in her chest that was heavier than the night wind. That evening, while the 3 of them huddled around a flickering oil lamp, old Miriam, their neighbor, came by. She placed a cup of hot tea in Leena's hands and said, her voice warm and steady, "You are young, but pain makes people grow faster than any lesson. Do not fear responsibility. Walk step by step. When the heart chooses its path, the feet will follow." Leena listened, but she could not fully understand. One question kept echoing in her mind. How can a 17-year-old carry the weight of a whole family? But life gave her no other choice. The next morning, she stepped into a journey she never prepared for. The journey of becoming an adult too soon. Every day she woke before dawn. She cooked porridge with the small amount of rice they had, lined up to receive food rations, and taught her siblings how to read using a broken pencil stub. The path to the temporary market was only a few hundred meters long, but with her torn sandals, it felt like crossing a desert. Each step produced a dry, brittle sound, as if reminding her that she was not allowed to fall. One afternoon, while rebuilding a small cooking corner with pieces of broken bricks, a man from the camp approached her. He looked at the thin children, at Leena's tired face, and said with a mix of pity and calculation, "You're so young to be raising 2 little ones. What a waste of your life. You can send them to the orphanage. You'll be free. You can live your own youth again." The words shook her. Freedom. A word she had not dared think about for a long time. Part of her wanted to run, to abandon it all and start over. But just then, little Hannah picked up a small stick, drew 3 overlapping circles on the ground, and said, "This is our family. Nobody can be missing." Those trembling circles in the dust struck Leena's heart harder than any sentence. That night, she cried quietly. She felt weak, guilty, even ashamed for ever thinking of abandoning the 2 children clinging to her to survive. The next morning, in a moment of confusion and exhaustion, she tried taking them to the orphanage, just as the man suggested. But when she saw the silent faces of children waiting for parents who would never return, her heart tightened painfully. A staff member asked, "Are you here to leave the children?" Leena looked down at her sandals, sandals that had carried her through war, hunger, fear, and countless days without light. It was as if they were telling her, "If you let go today, every step you took through pain will mean nothing." She grabbed her siblings' hands and ran. She held them close, whispering through tears, "I will never leave you." From that moment, Leena no longer walked like a child forced to grow up. She walked like someone who had decided who she must become. She took a job at the food distribution center to earn money for milk. She taught children in the camp in exchange for bread. She practiced smiling every morning in front of a bent, scratched piece of metal so her siblings would not be afraid of the future. People in the refugee camp began calling her the Little Lantern of Red Brick Street, because in the darkest place, her eyes shone the brightest. One morning, a convoy from an international organization arrived at the camp. They brought a scholarship program for war orphans. Leena simply watched from afar, never imagining her name would be called. But then one representative approached and asked, "Are you the daughter of Ibrahim, the soldier who saved our team during the last attack?" Leena froze. The representative placed a worn piece of paper into her hands. The edges were yellowed, the handwriting shaky. "If you are reading this, it means I did not make it home. But do not be afraid. When your legs grow tired, remember this. Light does not come from the sky. Light comes from your own heart." The representative continued, "Because of your father's sacrifice, we want to give you an opportunity." Leena received a full scholarship. When she heard the news, she did not cheer. She ran back to the tent, held her siblings tightly, and cried, as if for the first time she was allowed to be fragile, not from despair, but from the sudden opening of hope after years of darkness. In the days that followed, Leena studied, worked, and cared for her siblings, yet her heart felt lighter, warmer. She realized that peace does not return childhood that was stolen by war, but it offers the chance to build a future that never existed before. Every night, she still walked along the sandy path wearing her ripped sandals. But now, each step was slow and steady, as if the ground had stopped testing her and finally began to hold her up. There are girls who must grow up in a single night. There are sandals that must walk through both war and peace. And there are hearts that only shine when there is no way left to retreat. The hardest journey is the journey of becoming yourself. And the brightest light is always found in the eyes of the ones who refuse to give up.